week you left us in Istanbul, Turkey, searching for that Bosphorus beat. I did toy with the idea of saying something about ferry across the Bosphorus, but thought it too awful even for this programme. Nevertheless, we did cross to the Asian side of the city in a car hurled, driven would be an inadequate word to use to describe the process, I think, by our pal Murat Ertel, a guide, philosopher and band member. First we were led through a gloomy underground passageway filled with record shops. Pause for location recording. Nice. Then we went to a cafe for a cola and a chat, and amongst the many musicians not with us on this occasion was Leman Sam.
Bir fincan kahvenin 40 yıl hatırı elbet vardır demiş büyükler. Sulanmış akşamüstü bahçelerinde dostluk kokan kahveler içmişler. Arıyorum nerede o bahçeler, dostluk dumanıyla tütsülü geceler. Kaybetmeyin o fotoğrafları, kaybolan dünümün son yadigarları. Yok artık her gün son seferde geçerken tüm yalıları selamlayan kaptan, ya da ince bir tebessümle balıkçıdan küçücük paketini alan adam. Ah çok mu zor karşıki komşuya serin sabahlarda bir günaydın demek. Ah çok mu zor eve dönüşlerde yoldan geçenlere iyi akşamlar demek. Karanlıkta kaybolmuşsa eğer zaman, yoksa aşk için konuşmaya bir an. Utanırsam bir gün eğer ağlamaktan, düş olup bakarım camlardan. Arıyorum nerede o bahçeler, dostluk dumanıyla tütsülü geceler. Kaybetmeyin bu fotoğrafları, kaybolan dünümün son yadigarları. Arıyorum nerede o bahçeler, dostluk dumanıyla tütsülü geceler. Kaybetmeyin bu fotoğrafları, kaybolan dünümün son yadigarları.
Leman Sam, joining us in the cafe in Old Istanbul, my usual table of Serdar, please, were members of the band Perfect Day. I started with shocking lack of originality by asking them when the band started.
Well, the band, as it stands right now, to set up with 4 people, it's quite new. It's about 5 months old, but we've been playing together for almost 7 years in different setups, and there were more people before, and some of them had to take off because of personal problems or musical problems, or just they did. And we basically played everything, every kind of music, and it looks like we have settled down on our main kind of music right now. We're doing something like post-punk, new wave, whatever you want to call it, something new, yet not really off the line. You know, so you may.
Is this something fairly uncommon in Turkey then?
Well, I haven't heard anybody doing anything like that, but then I'm not really into listening to Turkish groups anyway, so there may be some people, but as far as we have heard, there aren't many people who do that kind of music in Turkey.
Right. But if you are not yourself into listening to Turkish bands, who is? I mean, does this mean that you're in what kind of an audience are you likely to find?
To be very honest, we don't really care. I mean, we're doing that mostly for ourselves, and it's just for the fun of it. I mean, we like to play. It's not play the music, but just play games. I mean, so we play games with the music. We have ideas. We use those ideas, and the only reason we are making tapes and giving out to people and trying to have a commercial tape and stuff is just able to provide us with the means of playing more easily with what we're playing, so that we can work in a studio, that we can buy the necessary equipment and stuff. So whoever listens to us, it's fine. It doesn't really matter for us. It's for the producer or whatever, the executive producer, the guy who's going to put the money for it. And if nobody puts the money, that's fine. We're going to keep playing.
So do you do any live gigs at all?
We haven't with that setup yet, and if there is demand for it, we would consider it. We don't mind doing it.
Very generous spirit of you there. How about radio play? Are you likely to get played? I mean, what we've heard of Turkish radio so far has seemed to be either playing quite traditional music or playing like American and British music all the time. So is there any chance of radio play for you?
Yeah, I mean, because there are about 5,000 radios right now in Turkey, seriously, 5,000 radio stations, we can easily get played in one of them if we push it. But first of all, this is only a demo tape we have, and the quality of the sound is quite bad, so I would be embarrassed for that to be played in any radio station. But other than that, it can be played anywhere if you just push it. If you ask a DJ friend to play it, he would play it most likely, or she would play it. But we haven't so far, and we're planning on doing a commercial album soon, within the next couple of months, and when that goes on, then we'll have a more effort on the PR, at least just for the sake of the producer.
Okay, well, I'm afraid that a track from your demo tape, Like It or Not, is going to be played on this radio station.
Perfect Day, crazy kids with their eyes on the stars. Whilst I was talking to Perfect Day, Serhat Kasal was sitting at an adjoining table, and of all the musicians we met in Turkey, Serhat seemed to be the one with the most remarkable vision. Unfortunately, he doesn't speak English, so Murat interpreted for him when I spoke to him.
Bu ilk sayı daha çok Türk filmleriyle ilgili. Fakat ikinci sayıda da Türk filmleriyle ilgili.
He has a kind of slogan. He said, the music is Turkish words, extremely non-anarchist music.
Anarchist music, yeah.
And this magazine is a complementary to the music. And it's mainly concentrated on Turkish B movies. On the cover of the magazine, we can see the stars of the B movies and the people who give their voices to the stars of the Turkish movies. They are all heard for many great periods of time, and they are all known. Their voices are known, but they are not known personally. So it's a really interesting fact. Serhat's approach is, I think, pretty interesting because he finds those people and he goes and records conversations with them, and then he makes out a magazine. And nobody is doing that in Turkey, and those people are old. They are going to be dead in a short period of time, and he's also using them in his music very creatively, but he doesn't want to get into the philosophy of his music or his magazines. He just does it. That's his way, I think.
Yalnız öleceksin, kül olup gideceksin. Gittikçe ateşe yaklaşıyorsun, sonunda öleceksin. Yanıp öleceksin, kül olup gideceksin. Gittikçe ateşe yaklaşıyorsun, sonunda öleceksin. Hep merak ederdim. Başkalarına insafsızca yaptıklarınız size bir gün yapılsa ne yaparsınız diye. Şimdi görüyorum. Korkuyorsun. Korkudan öldürmüşsün. Korkudan altına etmişsin. Artık bir ölüsün. Korkudan öldürmüşsün. Korkudan altına etmişsin. Artık bir ölüsün. Şaka etmiyorum. Şaka etmiyorum. Şaka etmiyorum. Şaka etmiyorum.
That's 25BZ. Super fine. From the cafe, we made our way to the BBC World Service exhibition. What a scorcher. And then...
Well, we've left the exciting BBC World Service exhibition by the Swedish Embassy and crossed the road through an archway and through more wild cats than I've ever seen in one place at any one time in my life. And we've come into a fairly small room full of old records and old books as well. There's even some 78s I see out from the corner of my eye there, which was most seductive. And we're talking to Dennis, and he has... What is it exactly that you do with these old records? You don't sell them.
Well, I collect them. I collect them from homes, private collections, keep some of them for me to record into tapes and sell the others. That's all. I mean, I like records and their view and the ritual of playing a record. It's something like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
So what happens is people come in here, they look through the shelves and they see a record. I see not a typical one, I suspect. Barry Manilow, 2 a.m., Paradise Cafe.
Well,
And that's one of the ones you want to sell. But I mean, there's one here, for example, that you say is very much sought
Turkish
after.
guitarist and some psychedelic stuff by him and mixed with Turkish music. I mean, it doesn't exist now.
Right.
I mean, it's not available at the shops, at the market.
Erkin, how do you say him? How do you say the name?
Erkin Koray.
Right. So if I wanted a copy of this record, I'd come in and I'd say, Dennis, can you make me a copy of this record?
Usually, everyone comes here and looks for a certain thing. I mean, he's looking for, or she's looking for a certain thing, and if I have it, I'll record it into the tape for someone.
Right.
That's
And
all.
then just charge them a kind of sensible sum of money.
Yeah, of course, it's very reasonable price according to the market. I mean,
Right. And then you also work as a DJ, you know.
well, yes,
Sort of.
sort of DJ. I don't know.
I'm a sort of DJ myself. Yeah, I know the feeling. So what do you do exactly then?
Well, I don't play the things I like. I mean, at the places. According to the place, I play the music. For example, I play now at a place in which you drink the rakı and all the meals and Turkish meals like that. Everyone is eating and drinking. That's why you have to play some old Turkish music and that everybody knows about, and some Mediterranean music, which is close, very close to our people,
right.
And it helps them to drink
Yes,
more and more. That's all.
So what's the name of the place where you're playing tonight?
Well, Tribunal, is the place. It's a very old place, like a castle, or I don't know.
Yes. Well, we'll try and come and see you there tonight, because I'd like to see you on the wheels of steel, as we DJs say. Thanks very much.
söyle bana neden? Daha güzeli yok senin yeşil gözlerinden. Keşke çirkin olsaydım, kimse bakmazdı sana. Benden hiç ayrılmazdın, kıskanıyorum. Çiçekler senden almış güzelliğini. Aynalar bile görmesin istemem seni. Bilmesinler ismini, duymasınlar sesini. Gözlerinin rengini kıskanıyorum. Yıllar önce bile kıskançlık varmış. Bu duygu aşka bin bir renk katmış. Kimi aldatmış, kimi de aldanmış. Kıskançlık olmazsa sevgi de olmazmış. Bilmesinler ismini, duymasınlar sesini. Benden önce seveni kıskanıyorum. Kıskanıyorum. Kıskanıyorum.
Mavi Istiklal, Then He Kissed Me in Turkish, if you see what I mean. One of the first-rate records played by Deniz, vinyl enthusiast and killer MC. Later we went with Murat, who's the guitarist with Zen, to one of their rare gigs where I spoke to Merih Öztalan, percussionist and vocalist with the ensemble, and asked, yes, you guessed, when the band started.
Well, we started out in 1988 with the name Zen, and it has been like 6 years, I guess. And since then, our form of music and form of the band has changed quite a lot. We've been playing, our songs, which we had like 20, 40 songs which we played until 1990. Then we decided to make improvisation after all, and since then we are doing improvisational music.
So what sort of response do you get to this? It was hinted to me earlier that perhaps there would be more people at the beginning than there would be at the end. Do you find people find it difficult to understand your music?
Well, I don't expect everybody to understand me because I don't understand myself either too much also. So that's normal and I take it easy. That's what I do.
Okay. So are there many other bands in Turkey that are similarly improvisational, or are you a unique band in this respect?
Well, I can't say I'm unique, but there's not too many people doing what I'm doing. People are doing their things in a different manner. You can call it improvisational music, which is, there are a couple of other bands, but what I do is unique to me.
And is any of this stuff available on record at all?
Well, we have a couple of underground tapes which we put it on market, but it's not too much. It's like 3 or 4 tapes. But we have many tapes which go around, around people, which we didn't sell from concerts and stuff like that.
Right, so would you like to make a record if it was possible, a CD or a more formal record, or are you quite happy just doing tapes?
Well, we always try to be happy what we are doing it, but actually we are trying to make a tape right at the moment. The reason we are recording a cassette, not an album or a CD, is because of the money problem. You need a big sponsor or some kind of thing like that, but we don't want that either. So we just try to proceed in our way.
You're also in the process, aren't you, of turning your house into a studio, isn't it? So you hope to make some money that way too, yeah?
No, not actually. We don't think too much about the money when we are building the studio, because we always dreamt of a place where we could easily play without carrying our equipment from place to place. We wanted music to be a part of our life, so the home is the best place to be.
Sen gel bakayım.
That's Zen. Apologies for my hoarseness back there. The air in Istanbul was thick enough with pollutants to cut into bite-sized chunks. I have to say the very best time we had in Turkey was when producer Dave Tate, Sheila and I sat with Zen watching the sun going down over the water near their homes outside Istanbul. We'll keep in touch with Zen and the other musicians and DJs we met in Turkey and play more of their work in our regular and magical programmes. There's another at the same time next week on the BBC World Service. Until then, goodbye.